Alright, so many of you know at this point that Honkai Star Rail has not exactly been in the best state lately, right? Patch 2.6, 2.7, and 3.0 especially weren't really all that great. And 3.1 wasn't exactly spectacular either. It was just a step up from what 3.0 was, which is a pretty darn low bar, admittedly, right? We've also been dealing with power creep and just poor delivery of the main story overall, such as over-bloating of dialogue that nobody cares about or asks for, and unnecessary puzzles that genuinely just roadblock us from the main story we're actually there for. And now we have this like global passive situation on Casteris, but it goes deeper than that because they have other characters planned in the future with global passives that are absolutely broken and just genuinely mess up the game and are causing a lot of people to quit the game before these passives are even introduced because players are simply fed up with everything that has led up to it so far. They were hoping that maybe Amphorius with 3.0, 3.1, and beyond, all the way going to, I believe it's 3.7 at least, that they have planned. They were really hoping that this could be the change for Honkai Star Rail in recent times, and maybe things could get better. Hearing about these global passives that are just genuinely going to potentially ruin the game, along with the many other things that are already ruining the game, players are fed up. And they're quitting en masse. And the sad thing is the anniversary is right around the corner, and it's keeping people hooked onto the game. The game's not going to look like it's suffering whatsoever from players leaving the game because the anniversary is going to bring in a lot of money, okay? There's a lot of people who do not care about any of the stuff that's going on, and they're going to pull on Casteris like crazy because they think she's going to single-handedly save their entire account. And she has the coolest animations for any character that we've seen up to this point. That dragon is super cool. She has a cool scythe. Sorry, Sela, you've been put on the bench. That scythe that she has is just way cooler than yours. It's a lot, right? It's going to pull in some good money, and it's not going to look like Hoyoverse is doing bad. They're going to look great during the anniversary of Honkai Star Rail, despite the fact that a lot of players are leaving. Now, real quick, before I keep doom posting here, if you guys like this kind of stuff, consider leaving a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help out, and we're on our push towards 10K, which will be the first milestone for the channel. The negative effect of players leaving the game is not going to be noticed for a little while, at least until after the anniversary has taken place and things go to a little bit of a calmer period in the middle of Amphorius before the second half really gets kicking off. And it's honestly just plain sad. It does not need to be like this whatsoever. It's 150 million % Hoyoverse's fault. And it's weird because we all know, right? This is a dev studio. The #1 objective for them when making the game is to make money, which is why this is such a wild situation because it's like they're speed running the decline of their game. They are speed running the depreciation of the value of Honkai Star Rail, which has been a cash cow for them for nearly 2 years now. And yeah, of course, they're going to want to push people over towards Zenless Zone Zero as well. But bro, this ain't the best way to do that. You know what I mean? Why are you going to lose millions of dollars on one of your biggest games you've ever made, right? The second biggest game they've ever made is Honkai Star Rail. Genshin, of course, is their highest earner on average, right? But why are you going to ruin your game like this just to push people over to Zenless Zone Zero? And I think it's because they're hoping, just like with Genshin, that people will keep eating up the mid-ass quality or even poor-ass quality content that they keep putting out in the game because players are hooked. There's that sunk cost fallacy because people spent literal in real life money on characters in these games and have spent the last 2 years investing into these accounts, and they don't want to lose that type of feeling, and they don't want to lose the progress that they've made in the game and all these characters that they've pulled in the game. It's like World of Warcraft. A lot of people it took like a decade for some people to quit World of Warcraft because they were just hooked, and their accounts that they've spent so much time on, they don't want to lose the accounts. They feel like they're losing a member of their family by giving up one of these type of games, right? They're addicted. And although it's pretty obvious that this is like in part the game plan from the beginning, right? Do really well in the beginning, get people hooked, and then start another game and do the same thing, and just hope that no matter what you guys are doing out there when you're playing your games, they're hoping that there's some Hoyoverse game out there for you, whether it's Zenless Zone Zero, Genshin, or Honkai Star Rail, any of the other projects they're working on in the background, because they are working on other projects in the background. But at some point, you'd think they would adapt, right? Like, I get it. You've had a formula that's been working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But you guys got competition now. Wuthering Waves is absolutely slaying out there. And you got games like Neverness to Everness, which looks like a Grand Theft Auto style, like gacha game practically. You also got, Ananta coming out. You got Azure Pramelia. Arknight's Enfield looks good. And I'm definitely going to give every single one of those games a try. If it feels like it might be worth it, I'm definitely going to give it a try. And I'm going to let you guys know if they're worth your time or not, just like I did with Zenless Zone Zero and Wuthering Waves and Honkai Star Rail, for example. And so this kind of feels like maybe the beginning of the end for Honkai Star Rail if things keep going in this direction. It might not continue to be people's main game. Down the line, if this keeps going like this will not be my main game, and you might see me mostly doom posting about the game, right? Which I've already been accused of recently, but bro, if there's doom and gloom regarding the game, when I cover the game, that's what the subject matter is gonna be. That's not my fault, that's Hoyoverse's fault. Because let's be real here, it's actually more lucrative to glaze up Hoyoverse games than it is to doom post about Hoyoverse games. But I like to be honest about the game state and how things are going with the game, right? I don't want to sit here and tell you a pack of lies and act like Honkai Star Rail is doing perfectly fine when it simply is not. So I hope you guys can really see things for what they are, right? And you're not going to end up just being a slave to a game just because you had so many good memories with it. I hope that you value your time more than Hoyoverse has been valuing your time in this game. And if you're enjoying yourself, keep enjoying yourself, okay? I'm not your dad. I'm not here to tell you what to do, okay? You live your own life, all right? But a lot of us are starting to feel the frustrations with Honkai Star Rail, and I'm going to tell it like it is, right? Because it's not in the best state, and I don't think it's going to continue to be a lot of players' main games going forward if things continue like this. Every video it feels like I post, more and more people are telling me that they're quitting the game, all right? That just doesn't happen out of nowhere. We're not making this shit up, okay? Players are voicing their concerns, and some of them are so fed up, they've already left the game. And I'm not just going to let things completely die out, right? I'm going to give Honkai Star Rail a chance, right? But if they keep going down this route, you're going to see me and other people pull back more and more until eventually some of us just straight up cut ties. So you guys let me know if there's any gacha games out there you think are worth my time and worth maybe taking a look at. Like, we're going to definitely be branching out a bit more here. We're going to be covering Wuthering Waves a bit more than we already are, Zenless Zone Zero as well. And obviously when Ananta, and Neverness to Everness, Arknight's Enfield, Azure Pramelia, the list goes on, when those very worthy looking games come out, I'll definitely be uploading for them if I feel like it's worth the time. I've heard about Limbus Company, Tribe 9, etc., etc. If there's any games like that out there you think are worth the investment of time, I'll take a look at it, and if I feel like it's good enough for, you know, content or worth people's actual time, I'll definitely cover it if it feels like it's worth. Because, bro, if the ship is sinking, you might as well get in a fucking life raft before it's too late. You know what I mean? It's not like a captain goes down with the ship type of situation, okay? We don't need to be a slave to one game, okay? Yeah, let's branch out. Let's see what else is out there. You know what I mean? It's a bright horizon, and I'm sure there's another game just on the other side of the hill. You know what I'm getting at here? And hey, if Hoyoverse decides they want to get their heads out of their multi-billion-dollar butts and actually, you know, give us some good delivery with Honkai Star Rail and stop doing these predatory practice type of maneuvers to try to squeeze more money out of us, despite the fact that Honkai Star Rail is a phenomenal success and is a cash cow for these guys. It's like, bro, that $20 million they owe the FTC for how things went with Genshin Impact is really hurting, huh? They're really gonna squeeze out that extra $20 million out of us? Give me a break with that. And yeah, I almost forgot earlier, but the Castris passive, I mean the Asterisk passive, hasn't been removed from the game yet, okay? We're moving into deeper and deeper versions of the beta, and it is still there. Now, there still are some final moments they could tweak before the character goes live, but we don't know 100% if that's gonna happen. I'm sure you guys will be hearing plenty from not just myself, but many others if that does end up changing, whether it's on Twitter, on YouTube, whatever, you're definitely going to find out about it if it gets removed before she actually drops. And of course, you'll find out 100% when she does drop. Maybe they'll pull some crazy maneuver and it's not there on the final version when she does drop, but usually the final version of the beta is the last chance that they have before they end up going live with something. I'm not aware of them ever last minute actually changing something beyond the beta and actually doing it on the actual live version, but correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about that one. So let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. Let me know what other gacha games are out there, and if you like this kind of stuff, consider leaving a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.